fix, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that shit cheap, and I am tired of the shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of the shit.
Back a little bit. You can't want to be the villain. You can't pride yourself in being the villain, and then you lose, and all of a sudden you succumb to those.
What happens when the WNBA's self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie goes from the face of college basketball dominance to the epicenter of the league's biggest sponsorship meltdown? Angel Reese's season has been a headline machine, but not the good kind. From ejections, public tantrums, and social media outbursts, to slapping a clipboard out of a VP's hands on national television, every week has turned into a PR disaster. And now, Stephen A. Smith, the loudest voice in American sports media, has had enough. He's calling out Angel Reese's behavior in a way that could change her career forever. Tonight, we're breaking down the shocking fallout. The sponsorship deals at risk, the rivalry with Caitlin Clark fueling even more fire, and why Angel Reese's reputation may never recover.
It's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there. It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA.
Stephen A. Smith is no stranger to roasting athletes, but when he turned his sights on Angel Reese, it felt different. On national TV, Stephen A. declared that Reese has built her brand on tantrums, not talent. His words? She wants to be the villain, but when she loses, she crumbles. For a player whose sponsorship value once soared after LSU's national championship, these words sting. Sponsors want winners, not drama queens. And with Reese's Chicago Sky team collapsing in the standings, Stephen A. warned brands directly. Do you really want our logo attached to the circus? That line has already sent shockwaves through the business side of the league.
Chicago Sky stink. They stink. I don't really know why they stink because I liked a lot of these players.
But that has to be fixed, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap, and I am tired of this. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of this.
The sponsorship chatter is no longer rumors. It's becoming reality. Marketing insiders have confirmed that brands are pulling back on Angel Reese. Why? Image risk. Her public meltdowns, her battles with referees, her profanity-laced pressers, it all adds up to a nightmare for corporations who want clean endorsements. Remember, Reese had millions in nil deals at LSU. But in the WNBA, the stakes are higher, and companies don't have patience for negative PR. And here's the twist. Every bad headline for Reese is a golden spotlight for Caitlin Clark. While Reese is losing leverage, Clark is signing fresh deals left and right, turning every game into a marketing goldmine.
If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big. Yet be criticized. Or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong.
If there was one moment that defined Reese's spiral this season, it was what fans now call the clipboard slap heard around the WNBA. In a tight game against the Washington Mystics, the Chicago Sky's VP of basketball operations approached Reese with strategy. Instead of listening, Reese smacked the clipboard out of her hands on national television. Cameras captured it. Twitter lit up. And Reese made it worse by tweeting profanity about the situation hours later. What could have been a private locker room issue turned into a viral PR disaster. Stephen A. nailed it. This wasn't leadership. This was self-sabotage. And for sponsors watching, the message was clear. Angel Reese is a walking headache.
I think we fought really hard. It's tough when you talk to officials and I asked them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We only went to the free throw line twice up into the fourth quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. So I know it's frustrating because I know how hard.
Right, last week. Is she going to play this season? Probably not. Probably not. Like, you're not going to risk someone for a back injury to come back when they're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to do that. I'm going to be honest. Like, there's no way.
Stephen A. didn't stop at Reese. He brought out the receipts on Caitlin Clark. He reminded viewers that WNBA games with Clark average 1.1 million viewers. Without her, those numbers dropped to less than 400,000. That's not a dip, that's a collapse. He compared Clark's rise to Reese's unraveling. Clark's jersey sales are breaking records, while Reese's headlines are scandals. Clark's sponsors are expanding, while Reese's are retreating. And here's the most brutal part. Stephen A. called Clark the heartbeat of the league, while labeling Reese America's next jealous teammate. That comparison cuts deep, because it paints Reese not just as a struggling player, but as the villain in a story where Clark is clearly the hero.
Either waiting for the WNBA draft, maybe they're just going to say, you know what, we're going to go and trade.
About the backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
Angel Reese has always thrived in controversy. Let's rewind. In 2023, she taunted Caitlin Clark in the NCAA championship, instantly becoming a polarizing figure. To some, she was a queen of confidence. To others, she was a sore winner. That moment followed her into the WNBA, where every move she makes is magnified. Then came the fights with referees, the social media jabs, and the endless stream of clapbacks to critics. Each time, her defenders claim it's passion, but critics argue it's immaturity. And now, as her sponsorships waver, the same fiery attitude that once made her famous may be what ends up costing her millions. The Chicago Sky are crumbling, and Angel Reese's numbers can't hide it. The team is 5-13, second worst in the league. Reese may be scoring, but it's not translating into wins. Stephen A. said it bluntly. You can put up 20 points a night, but if your team is losing every week, all you're doing is padding stats for Instagram. That's the harsh truth. Fans aren't showing up. Arenas are half empty. And the excitement around the Sky has turned into frustration. Winning cures everything in sports. But right now, Reese's team isn't winning, and the sponsorship doubts are growing louder every day. When you're in the spotlight, your social media becomes part of your brand. And Angel Reese's Twitter feed is destroying hers. From profanity-laced rants at referees to sarcastic emojis mocking critics, she's sending a clear message. I don't care. That attitude may play well with diehard fans, but sponsors? They hate it. Compare that to Caitlin Clark's social media, where every post is polished, sponsor-friendly, and tied to winning moments. It's night and day. In 2025, image equals money. And right now, Angel Reese is torching hers one tweet at a time. Stephen A. Smith's rant ended with a brutal warning. He said Angel Reese isn't just hurting her own career, she's dragging down the entire WNBA brand.
Think about that.
A player who was once marketed as the next face of women's basketball is now being called the league's biggest liability. His words weren't just hot takes, they were wake-up calls. And if Angel Reese doesn't course correct soon, she may lose more than just sponsorships. She may lose the respect of the league, her teammates, and even the fans who once adored her. While Angel Reese battles controversy, Caitlin Clark continues to rewrite the WNBA record books. Her games aren't just selling out, they're becoming national TV events. Ticket resale prices skyrocket. Merchandise sells out overnight. And sponsors are racing to attach themselves to her brand. Stephen A. made it clear, Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's lifting the entire league's visibility. The Caitlin Clark effect has turned the WNBA into must-see TV. And with every viral Clark highlight, the contrast with Reese's controversies grows sharper. The future of the league is leaning heavily toward Clark and away from Reese. Here's why this story is bigger than just Angel Reese. It's about the sponsorship domino effect. When one star athlete gets labeled a liability, companies reevaluate their entire WNBA strategy. That means fewer dollars for teams, fewer commercials, and less momentum for the league overall. Reese's downfall doesn't just hurt her, it hurts everyone. And brands are noticing the difference between controversy and consistency. Caitlin Clark is consistent. Angel Reese? Controversy on repeat. That's why insiders say Reese's deals are not just slowing, they're at risk of disappearing entirely. So here we are, a crossroads. Angel Reese, once the Bayou Barbie of college hoops, is now staring at the biggest test of her career. Sponsorship deals slipping, public image battered, and the league's most powerful commentator roasting her on national TV. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark keeps rising, pulling the WNBA to new heights. The question isn't whether Reese can play, the talent is there. The question is whether she can grow, adapt, and prove she's more than just a walking controversy. Because if she can't, her legacy won't be about championships or highlights. It'll be about the sponsorship she lost, the teammates she alienated, and the headlines she couldn't escape. Stephen A. may have destroyed her with words, but only Reese can decide if this is her downfall or her wake-up call.